This is the day that we're going to start cutting the binding grooves here for the back of the guitar, and maybe we'll even get to the front. We'll wait and see. This is the guitar, obviously. This is a cradle, and this is a jig that I made that's fastened to the table here. This post and the rotor bit, as you'll see in just a moment, came from Stumac, and this is a Stumac cradle. So what I've done with this is I've put Minwax on the back of this, and I've put Minwax on here so that this will slide over and around here very easily, as you can see. So I'm going to show you exactly how that's all going to come together in just a moment, but first let's spin that intro. We're back, and I just want to show you that there are different heights here. You'll notice this is higher here than it is here, and that's because the bottom of the guitar is thicker than the top, and this allows us to make the top level. So what we do is we set that in there very carefully, and I've put a small level on it to get it level this way and this way, and I know that it is level. I can see that, and it's fine. I've put it in the middle, and it's pretty close to being absolutely bang on in the middle, but you know it's not going to be leveled down on this side, because the reason is that the guitar is sloping this way and it's sloping this way. So we've got it pretty well level where we want it. And so this is going to move around here like so, as you'll see in just a moment. Now when we cut this, we're going to start at the wide end here and come this way, and then back to the wide end, and then down to here to the waist, back up here, down here to the waist, and then back around here. Now, because of the heavy involvement here of rotor bits and bearings, etc., and getting this exactly right, I have already cut 4 different test pieces to make sure that I've got this exactly where I want it. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of the binding. I did this as a sample, and then I put the binding in the slot here just to make sure that it's nice and level, exactly the way I would want it when we tape it. Now, because of the rotor bit sticking out of this particular gizmo here, and it's just coming up about 1/8 of an inch, I don't want to go the full depth of this cut in one pass. I'm going to do it in 2, maybe 3, and we'll just see how that works. So I'm going to take a little bit off, then I'm going to drop the rotor platform, which raises the bit, and I'll do it again, and then we'll get it to the final cut. Now, in addition to that, I also measured every wheel just to make sure that I had them all set up properly. I have actually spread some lubricant on the wheels to make sure that they were all turning properly and there would be no problem with any of that happening, and they're all good. So we're all set with the wheels, we're all set with the rotor bit, we're all set with the binding. This is an item from Stumac. This will slide in here like this, and this will come down onto here, and then we'll pass the guitar underneath it. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you, now this is flat right into here. You can see the flat area here. That's what's actually going to ride on the guitar, because it has an edge that's chamfered, and if you took this little green piece, you can see that it runs up like so. That way, I don't have a great big disc sitting on something that is tilted down because it slopes down and slopes down here. With a straight bit, it would be cockeyed like this, right? And so it would be gouging into the side and it just would not work well. So that small little area just allows us to get a proper bead on this thing. So we're going to raise this up just a bit. All right, so here we go. I'm going to plug in. And I will not be talking to you while I do this, because I want to make sure that we get this right. That fits perfectly, just perfect. All right, I have a few other things I have to do. I now need to set up in order to put the purfling around on the top, because I'd like to put that in the top, which means doing another cut, but not quite as deep, and 20 thousandths of an inch in thickness. So you know what that means. You can see this. It's going to take me a few minutes to set that up. So why don't I go ahead and I'll do that cut and I'll get that all set up to do, and then we'll come back later and we'll do the other side, because the armrest side goes exactly the same as this. I just wanted to start with the back first, just in case we had a problem that I could fix. But we had no problems. You can see how that's all nice and trim and nice and neat here. This binding, by the way, it fits absolutely perfectly flush. It's right on the money. It needs some bending, but you can see this in here, how that's going to look when we finish that off, and then we scrape it down and we polish it and sand it, and we do all that good stuff. Isn't this fun? Oh my goodness. Just think, you could be making videos on how to make videos and missing all this fun. Oh my goodness. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you in the next video. And by the way, I have no English breakfast tea here because you can see the sawdust. What I've got is a container of water. And I'll be into this in just a minute. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Ho, 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 is this ever great?